big report for us, basically. Recommendations, the results of our retreat back on April 29th, and the recommendations that are coming out, which are supposedly going to council on the 27th, and I'm hoping that'll be delayed, but it's basically our future.
So I'm reporting out on this. So yeah, we heard from you guys very clearly that you wanted it time certain on the 27th, and given that the 27th is going to be a very, very full agenda, A, it would be difficult to give you time certain on that date, and B, even if we did, honestly, council is probably going to be overwhelmed, and I don't know that you would be doing you guys justice to have it on that date. So we've made the decision to push it off until late August. And after having a conversation with a few people, we're still not complete, which is why I'm not bringing you the actual recommendations. However, after having some conversations, we've decided that for your first meeting in August, we will bring the written recommendations. And that'll give us a couple of days to listen to you guys, hear what you have to say. If there are any changes that need to be made to the recommendations, they would be submitted that following Friday to be posted to the August 22nd agenda. And that would mean that council would not be seeing the document until the 15th. So you guys would be getting the recommendations wherever council is. So that is currently our timeline, and I don't have anything else to tell you. But hopefully it's good news to all of you that you will be getting it before it's officially finalized and submitted for council approval.
And that was August 15th?
Yes. It's going on the August 22nd agenda.
Okay, so that will go after our first meeting.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is the 9th.
Right. Now there's a couple of things, for example, on the work plan we have, whether to do caucus process. Has that decision been made? Will we have a caucus? Will we have a work plan item that doesn't have anything to do? I mean, where do we stand? We're
currently,
lost.
well, that's part of it. It's just not everyone has weighed in, so I can tell you sort of where we currently stand. There should be a caucus, but I don't know if it will change between now and when you guys get it on August 9th.
Okay. Any questions?
Yeah. Commissioner Cunningham.
The question, I want to make sure I heard. So on the 9th of August, are we going to get a report of the findings, and the decision that's going to go before the council?
You guys will get the memo. You actually will get the memo as it's in its final draft, well, in its penultimate final drafted form, with the possibility of it changing between the 9th and the 11th, which is when it needs to be submitted so we can go on the agenda for the 22nd.
Will we get that by August 2nd? In other words, a week ahead of time?
You'll get it the normal time you get your agenda.
Okay,
yeah.
so it'll be part of, so we put it on the agenda for August.
Exactly, yeah.
Thank you.
I have a question. So I'll speak for myself, this is a big deal in terms of what's being decided. It's really the character, the nature, the quality, the value the Neighborhoods Commission has in our city. So we're all in suspense, or I'm in great suspense. It's a big summer cliffhanger, like Dallas. So can you give us a feel for, are we coming back to 10 people? I mean, can you give us like hint? A teaser trailer or something?
I can't because actually it's now gone through like 3 iterations. So I'm not entirely sure where we're going to end up after. There's still a couple more people who have to look at it. So I'm not sure what's going to happen in the course of those conversations. So I can't tell you where we are because I feel like I might lead you astray and then everyone freaks out and then it's not what ends up happening and then so it's better for me. But this way you guys get to, again, weigh in prior to it actually going to its final version to council. So you have an active role in determining what it actually reads by the time council gets it.
Any more questions on this?
Mr. Fleming.
Sorry, I steal the mic here. So for that August meeting, we're down, 4 commissioners right now, 4 vacancies. Are we going to fill in those 4 vacancies for that first meeting, or just keep it as is?
Because at that point, we will still, the item has not gone back to council. Councilmember Rocha's memo stands, so your vacancies will be the same, which means that you will have a smaller quorum. I mean, it's not that we're pulling those spots against you. So until it goes back to council and council makes a decision, the vacancies are not being filled on this commission.
Assuming that we stay at 20, when will those other appointments come in?
That would be for council to determine. I don't know if they were going to decide that they would vote for them immediately, or if they vote for that.
Will that be part of the report out?
It would be part of the recommendations, yeah.
You said if the council wanted to appoint anyone, they could put it on the agenda,
Yeah.
so it could be anytime.
Any other questions, John?
Something you just pointed on, just a point of clarification. We're down 5, right?
Approximately.
Okay, because this agenda is not totally accurate then. I assume it's District 4. One's off, so that would make the 5th?
Yes.
Okay, just a point of clarification.
He showed up at a previous meeting, which is why he's
No, he hasn't been here a long time.
he hasn't been here a little while, but he showed up at one of the meetings, so I sent him another email. But
Okay, from the public, Ed Rast, got some comments?
Is the late August meeting going to be in the evening? And if so, will it be time certain? And the other question you get into is, many families have basically planned for vacations and other things in August. So it's not a particularly good time if you really want to get input on it. So if you don't want input, that's what you're going to have.
well, the 22nd, people are starting to come back for school, which is why we pushed it to that date. But we avoided earlier in August, which was what we'd initially talked about for that reason.
And it will be in the evening?
I don't know, actually. I have to find out.
Because if it's in the afternoon, very few people attend. And if it's not time certain, it's another issue.
I think we can make a time certain. I just don't know if there's an evening meeting that day.
Well, the neighborhoods have worked on this, neighborhood commission concept now for almost 11 years. It started back 11 years ago, and then it was a pilot project for basically 7.5 years, and now it's only been a couple of years that you've actually had a regular commission. And now they've gone back at it and trying to reduce it because some of the council members or some of the staff is uncomfortable with some of the things that they think the council is doing, or the commission is doing. I think is not particularly fair. It's a democratic process, and what's going on now is we're bringing up issues the community has interest in. For instance, public safety issues surrounding the homeless, the issue you run up against other public safety issues, and also the a couple of other issues that that people seem to have a problem with the city hall. And that's just the democratic process. The concept of basically having the council members appoint somebody, it was purposely done without that, because that way we would have a voice. Because if you have council members appoint somebody, what happens is very simple. They appoint people that they control or are going to be, basically their friends. And therefore, normally what we say is, oh, who is that? The second thing is usually, oh no. And a very small number of times it's okay. So it's not representative at all. And we don't see a lot of with some council members, they don't represent us. Thank you.
Any other comments on this? We just kind of hang and wait, huh? Okay.
Are we allowed to call on members of the public? I see 3 former commissioners here.
If you guys have anything to say?
I just think that as
Can you come to the microphone? If you speak, can you come to the microphone? You seem to be here for a reason.
This is Marie Arnold, for those of you who don't know her, one of the great commissioners from District 10. On our calendar, her sidekick.
Yeah, right. She's the voice, though. I'm sort of Stacy. The thing is, Ed Rask has said what we came to say, and that was the commission should be not in control, not be controlled by our council people, because we're an independent body. And, we go to District 2 meetings where all the people, from our district, send representatives from their homeowners association, and we tell them what we have, discussed here and what we're about. So, we did, when we were we were in your spot. And so this is why we're here, is just to see that those 3 items that Don Rocha put in wouldn't, happen. We need 2 people. We have 100,000 people in our district, so, and how many, 30, probably, in different neighborhood associations. So we need that, and we need the autonomy of our neighborhood associations appointing us, like they appointed you all, like they appointed you two. And they come from different areas in the neighborhood, in the district. They come from different neighborhoods. And so you get a better mix of people.
Norma?
I definitely agree with Ed. We don't want to think that, we wouldn't even want our neighborhood to think that what they believe in, if they want to focus on certain areas of interest right now, like homelessness, the blight in the area, the crime, increase in crime, we don't want to think that it will be controlled by the powers to be and their special propensity to choose who they think may always follow or fall in line with what they believe in. This is the whole reason this body was formed. So it would be a neighborhood. The neighborhood would have a voice. And so, Ed, I thank you for speaking for me in this instance, and thank you, Marie.
Thanks, both of you.
What's your last name?
Norma Fallon.
Thank you.
And Ms. Berrigan, your presence here speaks volumes. Thank you for being here with us tonight.
You're welcome.
Sabrina, let me just throw one other item on the table. The Neighborhoods Commission now is the Independent Citizens Oversight Committee for the sales tax. In some of the discussions I've had on that, if we go to an appointed roster, how independent is that? Does it violate basically the independence of that other group? So I think that's a good question to toss on the table for Norma's powers that be. Okay. Yes, Magic.
I just wanted to add that nothing precludes you from communicating with the council regarding your position.
We're just trying to get a sliver of information. Yeah.
Can I get a point of clarification on that? Do we have to do that collectively, or can we do that individually?
You may do that individually, and then if you all
great.
want to do that collectively, then you would have to probably take action as commission, and so it would go through the
All right, thank you.
process.
Sounds like that's something on the August 9th